2025 Turkey Trot Boys Hockey Tournament. The Edina Hornets 0-1 on the season, facing 1-0 Maple Grove. From the Plymouth Ice Center, John Jacobson and Jay Wilcox. Great to be back again, start of another boys hockey season. And each team with a game under their belt now coming into day 2.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a quick turnaround. In the past, we'd have, Friday night and then Saturday night games. This time, an afternoon game. So a quicker turnaround. I think a little bit less energy in the rink from fans and everything, too, in this afternoon. So it's a good test for these guys to see how they bounce back. For Edina, bouncing back from what was a tough loss for Maple Grove. They're trying to carry the momentum from a good win over Wayzata.
Edina fell behind last night 3-0. Came back to tie before Moorhead pulled away. Boy, Moorhead really looked good against Edina, didn't they?
Defending state champs and #1 team coming in, and yeah, they were the sharpest of the 4 teams, no doubt about it. The Hornets had stretches where they played well. That game was a very strange one. Early it was all Moorhead, late it was all Moorhead. In the middle, a lot of Edina, and when they tied it up, it seemed like they had a decent chance to really extend that game and battle to the end, but it didn't turn out that way as the third period wound down.
Maple Grove won their opener, beating Wayzata here 4-2 on the Trojans' home ice, and they'll try to make it 2-0 this afternoon.
Yeah, they got off to a really good start, I thought. Took more penalties than they would have liked to as the night went on, and they were outshot by the Trojans. Had stretches where they played pretty well, other times not as well, but definitely good enough to get that first win.
Let's look at our key players, starting with Edina. Nash Payne scored his first varsity goal last night. The sophomore putting one in. He's a good forward, a good young forward. They got a lot of young players on this team.
Yeah, an exciting way to get your first goal. And at the time, it was the goal that tied the game up at 3-3. He got involved early, took a penalty or two. I mean, he was involved. He was active all night. And they're going to need another nice game from him as they battle Maple Grove.
And from Maple Grove, Lane Glendy, a regular last year, comes out first game of this year, pops 2 goals in.
Yeah, kind of a tone setter for them. Scoring pretty early in the game. He was solid all night, wearing that captain C, one of the guys that they're definitely counting on, not only tonight, but all season long.
Second game to come, Wayzata and Moorhead after this one, but we'll get started with day 2. Maple Grove Edina boys hockey at the Turkey Trot Tournament in Plymouth on CCX.
For 90 years, Connection has been at the heart of everything they do at Topline Financial Credit Union. Their team is passionate about connecting with you to help you reach your financial dreams. For some, they're here for your first, like your first checking account, first car, or first home. For others, they're here for those next steps, whether it's remodeling your home, saving for retirement, or starting a small business. Become a Topline member and let them be a part of your big moments. Visit toplinecu.com, because connected, we all do better. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Edina and Maple Grove hit the ice for day 2 of the CCX Turkey Trot Boys Hockey Tournament. Edina and Maple Grove followed by Wayzata and Moorhead. 2:30 Saturday afternoon start here for the Hornets and the Crimson. John Jacobson and Jay Wilcox back with you here at the pick. Starting goaltenders, Wyatt Spindler got the start last night between the pipes for Edina. His record last year, 11-4-1. Pretty good, Jay. Look at those numbers. Save percentage over 91% and the goals against 2.01.
Yeah, and as Dave Schwartz and I mentioned, it sounds strange to say it, but he actually, I thought, played a pretty decent game last night, even though it ended up being 6 goals against. It wasn't really mostly Wyatt Spindler's fault, I don't feel like. Moorhead just was really good.
And at the other end, in goal, Ryder Skansen, the senior for Maple Grove. He was the backup last year, so he's 2-0, but 32 saves, as we mentioned in the pregame. Faced a lot of shots last night because his team was shorthanded often, but comes up with 32 stops last night in their opener.
And he was a late arrival today. We saw him coming on just as warm-ups were already well underway, as he had some important business at the Capitol. From what we understand, he's got a very interesting life away from hockey as well.
He is headed to Air Force next year, Air Force Academy, and he'll play football there. He's an outstanding football player for the Crimson, and had a meeting late this morning with Senators Klobuchar and Smith before it was the only time they could meet with them, and you don't pass that up, right? And but he got in here. He came up, halfway through warm-ups, he got onto the ice. So congratulations to Ryder for that Air Force appointment, and thank him for his service. Oh, early scoring chance, the first one, and a save by Spindler as he stops Lane Glendy point blank.
Quick little pass out front, and Spindler had to be ready.
Good breakup on that pass by Edina's Tucker Johnson. Johnson with it just outside the line. First shot by Edina. The game goes wide off Bodie McConnell's stick. Back behind the Crimson net. Battle for it. McConnell trying to get after it. Cleared back out to the point. It skips past Drew Botts there, and he'll shoot it back in. Long pass ahead. Here's Maple Grove trying to push in, losing the puck off his stick, but Wyatt Kuznick got chucked a little bit as well.
That one looked like it was going to be something, but the defenseman did a pretty good job of taking the right angle, so Kuznick couldn't go straight at the net.
Break wide pass, almost a chance there for Maple Grove off the initial pass from Henry Miller. Comes back out to center. Edina with it. David Varecka dumps it into the Crimson zone. They back behind the net. And out front comes back to Edina. Shot wide of Skansen. Left point, dump back behind the net. Too far there for Jack Fitzgerald. A lot of Hornets doing a good job keeping it in. Centering pass, backhand try. And the stop made on the save by David Varecka.
Another look at this, a turnover there, just overskated by the defenseman, and then a quick little pass out front from Kuznick to Glendy, but Spindler was ready, and then here's Edina's opportunity. That one just kind of popped up in the air. We're already seeing some guys who didn't play much or at all last night for Edina, so partly I think because it's day two, but also probably Kurt Giles wasn't overly happy with what they put on the ice overall against Moorhead.
Crimson will chip the puck ahead. A little too far there in front of Matthew Johnson, who had a forecheck there. Becker Wenkes as Edina got it back to the Maple Grove zone with the Crimson control. Pass comes back out. Here's Cale Braid. Centers it, and then falling down and losing the puck was Cole Forrest. Crimson briefly kept it in, and then Edina skates it ahead to the Hornet zone. Turned back towards Skansen. He had to clear that one away off the defenseman's stick, and Maple Grove regains control, dumps it out to center. They'll go off for a change. Edina possesses it back at their blue line. Wenkes will dump it in as he goes off for a change, and Skansen comes up with a save here on Johnson. Johnson, a good game last night, Jay, in their opener.
Yeah, a couple of goals for him, including a penalty shot, first of the year, and he was able to convert that. He scored 2 in a row in about less than 30 seconds, and you can see he's got a pretty heavy shot right there.
They won the face-off, but draw it back outside the zone. Racing down Kuznick for Maple Grove, trying to get possession, but Edina keeps it. Pass ahead on the right side. Dylan Dene couldn't do anything with it. Shot from center ice by McConnell deep. Skansen trying to control it, gives it away back behind his net to Johnson, sent back out left point, shot away. Skansen sees it all the way and makes the save.
Seeing both teams commit a miscue down below their own goal line. That kind of led to a little bit of a chance. You want to be sure on those kind of passes and not just give it a little blind backhand look.
Jump to the boards. And then back behind the net. Edina trying to set up from back there. Centering pass. Given away to Maple Grove. From center, pushed ahead and then dumped into the zone deep. Hornets with it back on their own end. Pushed up by Peckham up the right wing. Turnover, shot away, and Spindler comes up with the save.
Kind of a choppy start here for both teams.
Yeah.
Not a ton of flow, but guys, kind of working their way into this game a little bit. They were kind of joking about how, there's just so much less buzz in the crowd even when they started to come out for warm-ups compared to last night. The Wayzata Maple Grove, I mean, there were a lot of people and a lot of noise even just when they took the ice for warm-ups, whereas today there was just kind of a smattering of people even in the stands yet by the time they came out to warm up.
Brady Kranz winning the face-off there for Maple Grove. Shot from out high gets deflected. Cole Anderson's shot didn't get all the way through. They'll tie up behind the net before Edina emerges with the puck. Breakout pass to the right. Dan sends it back. Centering pass, a shot and a goal. Great passing play. And it's Payne that scores. It's 1-0 Edina.
Boy, they put that pass right on his tape, and he wasted no time getting rid of that puck either. Snapping it past Skansen, and Payne showing that he's going to be earning a lot of ice time as a sophomore. A pretty good start to the season at Turkey Trot already for him. Good pass, but you see how quickly he got rid of that before the defenseman Anderson could really get to his stick. And well placed up over the glove of Skansen. Nice goal. He takes a rough ride there when celebrating as his teammate got him up high around the neck, but he'll take that.
Here come the Hornets again. Shot away and Skansen save. Peterson and Dan get the assist. Goal coming at 4:56 of the first period. Skansen another stop off the face-off.
Hornets looking pretty good on draws early on. They've won a number of them in Maple Grove's end already.
One pushed outside the zone. Back towards Spindler, but it'll be picked up by Dylan Dubuque. Dubuque pass misses on the breakout try. Icing on the Hornets. So back to the Edina end. Chris Giles, 27th season now at Edina. Won a handful of state championships a couple of years ago. Third place last year, always in the mix, right?
Yeah, they're contenders at every year, and the thing about that is so impressive too is that they always seem to be ready at section time. There's times, obviously we cover Wayzata sports a lot, there are times when the regular season meetings have been pretty even, but it seems that playoff time, Edina finds a way.
Hornets keeping the puck in the Crimson zone. Now Maple Grove gets it out. Slip across left side to Kuznick. Chased down in the corner, and Ricker Wenkus gets to that puck first. He has it, poked off his stick. Backhanded in to the Crimson zone. And out they come. Thomas Picanato will dump it in. Out to the blue line. Hornets back with it again. Shot away, that gets blocked. And then they quickly transitioning to offense. Comes Maple Grove. Braid gets ridden to the boards there on the left side. Comes back out. Tommy Picanato shot. And Spindler the save. Or excuse me, Henry Miller with that shot from the blue line.
Crimson trying to get something going offensively here. They haven't really had much zone time or anything. They had the one pretty good look after the defenseman turned the puck over, but that's been about it so far. Interesting that I think both teams probably took
penalties that they wish they hadn't last night, and so far we haven't seen much of extra stuff. That doesn't mean it isn't coming, but both teams pretty disciplined so far in that regard.
The takeaway from Maple Grove sets them back up. Here comes Braid, fires a shot and fired wide. And Forrest on his left took the shot and missed the net. This one caroms off the end boards in front of Spindler. Almost another guy in a turnover, but Hornets retain possession. Crisp pass out. Here comes Payne again. Drop pass. Peterson trying to center it. And that gets picked off. Back come the Crimson. And they're offside. And Todd Berglund now in his 11th year at Maple Grove. He talked about it, Jay, yesterday. You know, all four of these schools have had hockey teams and football teams in the state championship within the last decade. Maple Grove runner-up a couple of years ago in hockey. Of course, won football 2 of the last 3 years, but not this year. Edina winning it last night. Congratulations to the Hornets. We'll hear more about that from one of their players in between periods. You know, as good as they've been the last half a dozen years, it hasn't been a sport where they've dominated, like hockey and girls tennis, for instance. Last football championship for Maple Grove came in 1979. There's the score from last night, 42-35, that Moorhead team. What a great offense they had. Chase Bjorgard, 320 yards rushing and 6 total touchdowns. Mason West, another hockey guy, along with Bjorgard, 2 passing TDs, and congratulations to Edina.
And Chase Bjorgard is here today, and in fact, he is the young man we're going to be hearing from between periods as he'll try to get himself back ready for hockey. But he said, I'm going to take it slow. He's a goalie, and he's a little banged up from football, and he said, we're not going to rush things.
I asked him, I said, are you sore? He's like, well, not really. He said, I'm used to carrying it. It's especially late in the season, 30-plus times a game. And winning probably helps, too, right?
Yeah, he said, you know, you asked, how do you feel today? And he said, like a champion. That was a good answer.
Yeah, that was a good answer. We're near the midway point here of the first period. Edina leading a 1-0 on a goal from Nash Payne. Shots on goal right now, 5-3 in favor of Edina. This shot from Maple Grove gets deflected back to the corner and then pushed out past Cole Anderson at the point all the way down. No icing, of course, here. And Anderson retrieves it. Looking for the pass at center ice. That went too far and intercepted. And skating back ahead is Brooks Suter. One goes wide off of Ben Bareka-Sidek. Behind the net, Anderson will pick it up for the Crimson. Make it ahead and then shot back in to the Maple Grove zone. Smith with it there. Trying to get it to Anderson. Moving in deep was Fitzgerald for Edina. Boards kept in left point by Suter. And then back behind the net, Crimson will take it with Smith. Smith, one of the veterans on this team, will dump it into the Hornet zone. Grabbed there by Wenkus, Becker Wenkus. Up to the blue line. Poked off his stick by Johnson, but Edina carries back into the zone. Fanning on the shot was Ben Bareka. Maple Grove turns it back the other way. Hornets regain possession in their own end. From center, they'll dump it in, complete their line change. There's 7 minutes to go here in the first. Centering attempt gets blocked. Tie it back behind the Crimson net. Maple Grove back with it. And across it comes to Miller. Fired in, shot on, and save there made by Spindler. Didn't look like it was going to be much, but a tricky little shot.
They gave a pretty big rebound there. He's fortunate that there was nobody cruising through the slot.
Turning in his own end to reset, Tommy Picconato. Pass up the middle of the ice, hits the stick there of Kuznick. Lundy fired it up and over the glass. Excuse me, Jaden Roche. The clear of the faceoff will come back in the Edina zone, though.
I'd like to see Maple Grove with a little bit shorter passes. They've been trying to really stretch the ice, which, you know, isn't a bad thing in and of itself, but I feel like if they were able to connect a little bit on the way up ice rather than trying to, you know, strike long as often as they have been.
Comes Edina with the face-off win in their own end, quickly down the ice, centering it back behind the net. Maple Grove got a stick on it, comes around to Kuznick. Cleared toward the blue line, and now Maple Grove has it. Lundy ahead to Roche, drop pass and missed Lundy's stick. Missed went under a stick, and that allows Dene take it for Edina. Connell, backhand shot, save made by Scanson. Back to the blue line, kept in. One-timer by McConnell, and he fired it wide. At the center and then dumped back in.
That was a good setup, and McConnell really misjudged the angle there and missed by a long shot.
Tip from center ice into the Edina zone. Hornets will move it back up the right wing with Blake Miller. Miller dumping it in back behind the net. Played by Scanson to Cole Anderson. Kept in at the point by Spurgeon. Tie up left of the goal. And now going back in control of the puck. 4:35 to go in the period. Anderson skated in, shot it wide of the Spindler and the Edina net. Was shot away, save made off the shot there from Lichter. Lichter going after it, trying to get it back for Biederwald. And Edina has it again with Miller. The center dumped in, out of play. And if you're watching live on this Saturday, one more game yet to come from the Turkey Trot as Wayzata take on Moorhead.
Been a first period that's had a lot of kind of stops and starts. We haven't seen a lot of flow and a lot of connection and passes. Edina did have the one very nice goal on a rush, but I think for both teams right now, just kind of still feeling things out. They haven't not playing poorly, but maybe not connecting as often and, you know, as regularly in terms of getting things set up in the offensive zone as they'd like.
Maple Grove getting the zone. Oh, great passing play. Spindler makes the save.
Crimson hoping it was going to be a goal. Johnson thought he might have had Spindler falling back into the net with that. What an unselfish pass by Steenerson. I thought he was going to shoot that, and instead just a one-touch pass ahead. That was nice.
Yeah, great pass from Steenerson, the quick shot from Johnson.
Johnson, I think, was more hoping than really thinking it was actually in. And you couldn't see it anymore as Spindler kind of fell backward with the puck somewhere in between his pads.
Initial pass by Henry Miller. It's a pretty passing play that doesn't end up in a goal. Spindler's not safe so far. We ride on it 1-0. Play back down to the Crimson end. Connell skating it after the boards, gets control of it again, trying to come toward the net. Got ridden off the puck and then coming to the front, but losing the puck was Dene.
That one bounces back up out of play into the Edina bench. Good use of his stick by Scanson there as they tried to drag it to the front. He just kind of calmly put that paddle down and stopped that from even being a shot attempt. Scanson's a pretty big goalie too. His reach has come into play a couple times already here.
In the Crimson zone again. For Johnson. There's some attention back behind the net. Centering pass and a giveaway. Turning and firing. And Scanson's got to make the save. chopping at the puck was Dene in front, but couldn't knock it down. Winkus got it to the blue line. McConnell couldn't do anything with it for Edina. Now they'll go make their change. Crimson dump it in. Smith from center ice. Winkus getting it off. It's Suter with it. Suter, just a freshman. That's on the right, kept in at the point there by Dan. Deep is Payne, and Scanson the glove save.
Even though it's from a slightly different spot on the ice, that was kind of how you beat him for the goal that we did have. He did a nice job of cutting to his left and then shooting back right, and Scanson that time, though, got the glove up.
Crimson with control of the puck. 2 minutes to play here in the opening period. Carried in deep. Crimson with it. Centering attempt by Peterson there. Or, excuse me, by Peterwolf. And that picked off. And back comes Edina. Next little move. Moving in. Peterwolf with a shot. He scores! Sam Biederwald, his first career varsity goal, ties it at 1.
Beautiful shot there. The defenseman Botts, though, got caught trying to play the puck and not take the body at all, and he got himself out of position. Watch him reach for the puck there, and that, once he missed it, Biederwolf walking in and was just able to lift that one. So many times, guys, when they try to go up high from that close in, they're going to sail it over the net, but he was able to tuck it in under the crossbar. And boy, he'll remember that one. Right, a great way to get this second game going for Maple Grove. They tie it up.
Had 1 assist last year on varsity. Brady Kranz and Charlie Steenerson get the assist on the Biederwolf goal at 15:24. Whistle with 1:09 to go in the period. Face-off coming outside the Edina line.
Not a lot of clean looks at the net in this first period for Maple Grove, but Biederwolf made that one count.
Center ice, shooting it in is Dubuque into the Maple Grove zone. They're up to center over there. Dubuque lays out a big check there on Jaden O'Shea. Crimson with it though. Deep backhand shot, and Spindler's got to make the save on Kuznick. Kuznick then stops the breakout pass. Kuznick with a shot, he got pulled over. They let go of the puck. Back to the blue line, and fanning on the shot there was Picanato. Here comes Edina late shot. That whistle just wide. Off David Vareca's stick. And 15 seconds to go here. Out of action in the last 45 seconds of play. Big drive, and that goes wide off the stick of Becker Wenkus. 5 seconds to go, and Picanato just frees the puck there along the boards, and that is the end of the first period of play. Edina scores early, Maple Grove late, and we are tied up 1-1 after 1 period. Maple Grove and Edina, and more Turkey Trot Hockey Tournament coverage coming on CCX after this.
For 90 years, Connection has been at the heart of everything they do at Topline Financial Credit Union. Their team is passionate about connecting with you to help you reach your financial dreams. For some, they're here for your first, like your first checking account, first car, or first home. For others, they're here for those next steps, whether it's remodeling your home, saving for retirement, or starting a small business. Become a Topline member and let them be a part of your big moments. Visit toplinecu.com because connected, we all do better. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Welcome back to Plymouth Ice Center. We're tied up 1-1 after one period of the Edina Maple Grove game. Todd Berglund, the Crimson head coach, joins us, and quick bounce back for both teams here after playing last night. How did you feel about that first period?
Yeah, I thought we could have been a little harder on pucks. We needed to attack their D, and we were slow getting to pucks. But I think kind of an afternoon matinee. I think guys were just getting their jump going, and I think the second period is going to be a little more exciting here. So I other than that, it was good that we rebounded with a nice goal, and we'll be ready to go second period.
Yeah, both teams I thought took probably more penalties than they would have liked to last night, and does that lead to being a little more cautious, do you feel like, in the physical game today?
Yeah, I told our boys before the game, I said, we're going to keep playing physical. We're not going to stop doing that, but we can't do the ticky-tack stuff, the gloves to the head, the extra stick. That's undisciplined, and we can't have that, right? So they got the message, and this has been kind of a free-flowing game, which I love that. I just good end-to-end, good hockey, good puck movement, so it's gonna be fun.
How much are you still evaluating to this early in the season, just kind of watching to see how, especially the new guys to varsity, react to these kind of games?
Yeah, it's good to see how they handle the nerves. I know a lot of these younger kids have been in big games, they've been in state tournaments, but it's still, this atmosphere is a fun atmosphere, and it's good to see how they can respond to it. It's almost a little state tournament-like, because it's early and the nerves are there, and so I love it. I love that part. That gets them a good exposure to it. We're still feeling these kids out, trying to figure out what combinations are going to work. That might be all the way past the holidays before we get that all dialed in.
Thanks for joining us, Todd. Good luck the rest of the way here.
Thank you, sir. Jay, good to see you again. Yep.
All right, Todd Berglund, Crimson head coach. His team tied up 1-1 with Edina after one period. We'll be back with more of our first intermission in just a moment.
Thank you to our supporting sponsor, Scott's Lawn Care, serving homes and businesses of their neighbors in the Twin Cities West Metro area. Scott's Lawn Care team offers services ranking from weekly maintenance to complete redesign. Also, Scott's Lawn Care offers snow plowing services for the smallest residential lots to large commercial projects as well. Thank you, Scott's Lawn Care, for being a supporting sponsor of CCX Media.
Welcome back to Plymouth Ice Center. Well, as we talked about extensively on Friday, two teams that are in this tournament, their football teams, were in the Prep Bowl, Edina and Moorhead, and coming out as champion, the Edina Hornets, and Chase Bjorgard joins us, who is also a hockey goalie for the Hornets, and he'll be getting back on the ice. But talk a little bit about that game. You had a mere 6 touchdowns last night. How special was it for you and all your teammates?
I mean, yeah, unreal. Played them earlier this season. Didn't come out on top that game, but so yeah, it just makes it all the better to win that game, especially also in 2023, losing that season, just getting tackled short by a couple inches, and then being able to come back last night and get it done is an unreal feeling for sure.
Did you guys have something that you knew was going to work and stuck with it last night, or was the game plan to have you carry the ball as much as you did, or?
I mean, yeah, I think our coaches put together a really good game plan. It was just like, they beat us through the air last time, so it's pretty much if they're going to beat us, make them beat us through the ground, and make them work for their touchdowns pretty much. And then from an offensive perspective, it's pretty much just, run the ball until it doesn't work, and they could never really find a solution to stop it. And if they did, I'm guessing we got a great quarterback in Mason West, and he would have been able to figure it out too, even if it wasn't working. But it just so happened that our run game was working tonight.
For a lot of kids, it's kind of a tough choice whether you keep playing, 2 sports that are back-to-back like this. But how about for you? Was it something you had a tough choice to try and make, to play both football and hockey?
Honestly, for me, no. I've been doing this kind of my whole life. I love both sports. I love baseball as well. So for me, it's just a lot of fun, and love being out here with the different groups of guys. So yeah, it was never really a hard decision for me. I'd love to do both, and yeah, for sure.
We talked about it a little bit in this first period, how Edina's had so many good sports. Football, until recently, maybe wasn't thought of as, really elite, but how special has it been to get the program really elevated like it's been here for the last, decade or 5 years at least?
We could just really tell last night how much it meant to our community by how many people showed up. Unreal atmosphere there. Thank you for everyone that came out, and I'd just give it our hats off to our coaching staff. I mean, they bought it. They come up with a good game plan every week. They have their core values of what they want us to do, and all we got to do is go and execute. And if we do that, we have a good chance to win every week.
Today, you get to be a spectator. What did you think of your teammates in the first period there?
I thought it was good first period, 1-1. Nice goal there by Painter, and we got to keep cleaning up some stuff in the D zone, but it's a young season, young team, so we're only going to get better from here pretty much.
And how about for you? What's the transition going to be like to hockey? How soon do you expect to kind of get into the flow of things after coming off football?
I don't have an exact timeline right now, but we got to take it slow for sure, make sure everything's working, got to be ready for the end of the season. I think it's just going to be a slow ramp up in practice every week until the coaches and me and my body, my trainers think that everything's ready to go, and then we're going to start rolling from there.
Chase, thanks so much for joining us, and congrats on a great playoff run in football, and best of luck in the hockey season.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Chase Bjorgaard, a record-setting performance for the Hornets football team in their Class 6A championship win over Moorhead. And again, we're going to be seeing Moorhead hockey later against Wayzata. Stay tuned. We'll have first period highlights coming up here as the intermission continues. CCX Turkey Trot Hockey continues up next.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
First intermission, Edina and Maple Grove boys hockey tied up at 1 here at the Turkey Trot Tournament at the Plymouth Ice Center. John Jacobson and Jay Wilcox with you on CCX as we look at highlights from the first period. And early Edina turnover leads to a Maple Grove chance, but a good stop by Wyatt Spindler here on Lane Glendy. At the other end, Ryder Skansen able to stop that shot from Tucker Johnson. And then a great play here by Edina, just working the puck down the ice, and it ends up with the goal. Randy Dan to Brady Peterson, and then the Nash Payne. Had a goal last night, gets one here, and gets it started with a goal at 4:56. Maple Grove chance here, Spindler coming up with the save on Cole Anderson. And then here the goal late coming from Maple Grove, a terrific shot put up high. Sam Biederwald with the goal. Brady Kranz, Charlie Steenerson the assist on that at 15:24 to tie it at 1, and that's where we are after 1. Shots on goal 9-8. Edina scoring chances 4-3. And Jay, as you mentioned, no penalties at all in that first period.
I don't think you ever really want to take penalties, but I think that 0 on each side kind of is an indication that the intensity and the hitting wasn't really there in that first period. I was a little bit surprised. Edina came out last night looking to hit Moorhead like crazy. Maple Grove did a lot of hitting against Wayzata. Both teams did in that game. But and I kind of asked Coach Berglund about that, and he said, yeah, we do want more physical, but just want to stay out of the box, and I have a feeling the intensity will get up a little bit more as this game goes.
Now, thanks to Elmar's New York Pizza, who has fed our crew here the last 2 days with their delicious pizza. Just a few blocks, about 2 blocks here from Plymouth Ice Center. You can stop in for a slice, call and order ahead, and Elmar's have been very gracious last year and this year to feed us up for these 2 days. I sure ordered more. I went in between periods. There's hardly any left.
It's been a hit. I think that's fair to say. It's good stuff.
Well, thanks to them for helping us out again as Maple Grove come back on the ice for the second period. Beautiful day outside, Jay. Walking in the arena, it's like, man, it's like 50 degrees out here on November 22nd. We've had days when it's been snowing during Turkey Trot and certainly much colder. One more game to come here, Wayzata and Moorhead at approximately 5 p.m. from Plymouth Ice Center.
I don't think we've really talked about it yet, but in some years, this tournament ends up being the weekend before Thanksgiving instead of the Friday, Saturday after Thanksgiving. It's just depending on where Thanksgiving is and where it falls in relation to the start of the first available play dates for boys hockey.
I think it moves back next year to Thanksgiving weekend.
Look there at Biederwolf, who had that Maple Grove goal, and a beauty it was, although as I mentioned, Drew Botts, the defenseman for Edina, does not want to see that one again. He did not make a very good play on that one, as he thought he had an opportunity to just cleanly steal the puck, and he didn't stay squared up on him at all and got out of position.
Preseason rankings, these teams both in the top 10. Maple Grove number 10, Edina number 4. Wayzata's 11. We've mentioned Moorhead number 1. Defending state champion often gives you that luxury to start the next season, but they do have some definite talent coming back despite what they may have lost from 2025.
Yeah, they looked the part last night. There's no doubt about it. I mean, even among these 4 good teams, Moorhead stood above. I thought, they were sharper than the other 3. They look good. They look like they played together for a long time, which they have, and they look very good.
Mike Kuznick lost it as he came across the Edina line. And Hornets are offside as Tucker Johnson is flying in on the left. Johnson and Glendy on this faceoff. He got chased out. O'Shea took it instead. Played into the Edina zone. Wanted to get it right back out. Trying to muscle his way in was McConnell. As it's centering pass right out in front. Johnson, and it's cleared from in front. That may have come off here. It looks like it did. That brings the whistle.
Kind of a bouncing puck there. They never really could control it to get a real good shot attempt away. It looked like it might turn into a pretty good chance.
Johnson, another clean faceoff win. Blue line shot away. It goes back behind Skansen in the net off the quick shot from Botts. Johnson back to Botts, slides at right point, shot away from there. That gets tipped just wide, off the stick of Peckham. Right out in front of the Crimson net. They chip it to the blue line. Nice step in move. Botts fires, and another whistle. It went back out of play and bounced back in. A lot of action down here in this Maple Grove zone on that shift.
Skansen kind of get caught up in traffic there, and good back check to take away that potential opportunity, but then a nice move and step in there by Botts.
Edina intercepts back behind the net, but their pass back out to the point got picked off by Johnson. Edina, though, able to keep it in. Back in Maple Grove's possession. Back to Anderson behind the net in the corner.
Edina stepping up their forecheck early in this period.
Really good. And they almost had a turnover there, but it's controlled still by Maple Grove. Forrest pushes it in the right side. Skating after it, Braid. Back out to the left point. Campbell keeps it in. Braid back to Anderson, looking for a tip in front for Forrest. Campbell dump it in. And poked out by Edina, a long way, all the way down to the Maple Grove end. Anderson with Payne run on his tail, sends him to the boards. Picked up by Campbell behind his own net. Pass across to Anderson, get it into the Edina zone. Hornets move it out, up at the center. Cleared back ahead by Campbell into the Edina zone and then knocked back out by Suter. I think they were played with a high stick. It was. That's what brings the whistle.
Boy, that was an excellent play with the stick to block that pass. Or Maple Grove had numbers coming up kind of the left middle there. They were going to be potentially in on a 2-on-1 or even a 2-on-0 if that pass wasn't knocked out of midair.
Franz winning the faceoff. Campbell's shot gets blocked. Race for the puck down to the other end. Fitzgerald gets to it first. Back behind the net. Circle trying to center it in front. That gets deflected and played out to center ice. Shot right back into the Maple Grove zone. Pass ahead, bounces off the stick there of Biederwolf. Edina shooting it back toward, but it's Franz getting it back, and pass behind Biederwolf here. And gives Edina the puck back the other way. Centering attempt, that goes off the stick of Ben Verrecka. Tie up in the circle, shot away. Skanson's got to make the save. And dumped ahead, the long one by Biederwolf. Down to the Maple Grove, the Edina end. Hornets have it there. Skating it up the left side was Dubuque. Turning and firing it ahead. McConnell back behind the Maple Grove net. 13 minutes, 15 seconds to fight. Here in the second period, no goals this period. Each team with one in the first. Hornets looking for a chance here, and Skanson's got to make the save on Dene. Wendy tried to get it, couldn't. Edina got it instead, turned and fired. Skanson the save, cleared back out ahead. Here comes Roche. Ran into a check there, and the Hornets get the puck back. McConnell with it, out to center. Icing on Edina.
Hitting may be picking up a little bit, but in large part the second period looks like the first. We're seeing quite a bit of end-to-end, but also quite a few missed passes or deflected plays where you give credit to the defense on some of that too. They're getting sticks in the way or even skates at times in the way.
Forrest and Payne on the faceoff, won by Maple Grove. Shot by Anderson. Fired it off the boards back behind the net. Comes back out Steenerson, right point to Anderson again. Anderson, a step in move with the puck, still with it. Feeds it off to the side of the net. Save made by Spindler. They jam out it in front. Braid and Forrest there, and it's covered up. Now we get some pushing and shoving. Whistle blows, no goal.
Boy, that puck was loose in front of Spindler, and he couldn't get to it and through all the traffic. And then after that, it was anybody's guess where it's going to wind up. You see right there, he could see it. He's reaching for it. They dove on it. And then it was still underneath the body of Sam Peckham for a minute, and then things got a little bit heated.
Pushing, but no penalties. We play on 5-on-5 here. Shots on goal now 13-10 in favor of Edina. Hornets bank it out to the blue line. And then, just off the stick. That could have been a scoring chance for Fitzgerald. He'll get it back again. Move to the corner with it. Still skating with it inside the blue line. No, it just came out.
Just enough of a nudge of that puck. Got it. We had a pretty good look at it. It was just outside the line there as he tried to kind of circle out top and get his momentum headed back toward the net.
Peterson Kranz facing off. Kranz winning it back. And it goes into the Edina zone. Victor Winkus got there first. Peterson got turned back at his own zone briefly, then turned over at center ice. Here's Anderson. Slides it across right side. Biederolf didn't get much on that. Does get it into the pads, though, of Spindler.
Spindler did a good job of coming out to challenge that one. He realized that they didn't have a lot of ice to work with there. Maybe one stick handle too many to take away the angle a little bit there.
Face-off win for Maple Grove. And Spindler making the save on the shot by Campbell.
I was saying earlier, Edina was winning a lot of offensive zone draws in that first period. Now we've seen Maple Grove do the same. And any one of those kind of shots could turn into trouble. You get a deflection, you get a rebound.
Another shot, and save made again. Sticks go up again after the whistle.
There was a stick being held, and then somebody not liking their stick being held fired back a little bit. I think it was Dubuque. Had a stick held by Forrest, and they went at each other pretty good. You see, first they're tied up behind the net, and then holds on, and then Dubuque give him the business a little bit there.
Well, we're going to whistle. We're going to have our first penalty of the night here as Dene was brought down as he was skating the puck deep in Maple Grove territory.
Yeah, Picconato kind of got the arm out and held him up. He's trying to, say that was a clean check, and I don't think it was far from being a clean check, but you give credit, though, on the rush for going aggressively toward the net. A lot of times guys will kind of shy away from that and circle out wider. See if he gets, he extended the arm out there. That's going to be called most times, I would say.
Well, first power play of the night comes with 11:10 to play in the second period. Shot away, it goes high and out of play.
Pretty good idea there as Johnson had it all teed up in the circle and got the feed from Dene. So he's got his stick down in the right spot there and just missed.
And face-off win back to Peckham. Out of Johnson. Side of the net in front. McConnell fanned on it. Off the pass from Dene. Guys got to reset back in their own zone. They rush pass on the left side. Johnson. Skated in deep as he's ridden the boards by Henry Miller. Connell moves in for Maple Grove. Grundy there, or for Maple Grove, for Edina. Not back out. Peckham. Shot. Scanson saw that one all the way.
Hornets really working that left side down low in the first couple possessions on this power play, and I like the way they're attacking that. And sometimes teams get content to just move the puck around the perimeter and never really threaten, but they're looking to do things a little bit different.
Right side shot here. Whistles wide off the stick of Becker-Wenkes. Beckham comes back for it. And push it up the left side. A minute to go in the power play for Edina. Johnson skating with the deep passes. Rink-wide pass across to Dene. They'll return it for Johnson. Back out for Peckham. Johnson again and Dene. Hooks across, top of the circle, feeds it off. Johnson popped off his stick. McConnell trying to steer it the right way. Back onto Dene's stick. He throws it out front. Cleared but not out. Big shot there. It gets blocked. Johnson tried to cute little pass in front. That goes wide of the net. Still in Maple Grove's end with Crimson finally able to gain control and rifle it down the ice.
Yeah, Johnson, I think, should have taken that shot rather than trying to feed that one over. I mean, in hindsight, obviously, it didn't get through, but...
Pass left side, too far for Peterson. Picked off by Maple Grove, but Peterson stops it on that left side, keeps it into the Maple Grove zone. In front now, Maple Grove back at full strength. And this will be icing. The penalty had just expired, so face-off come back down to the Crimson zone, but they there's a lot of zone time in that Crimson end in those 2 minutes, Jay.
Solid kill, though, overall. I mean,
yeah.
I don't think they allowed any really great chances there, and Scanson was ready when they did get. So, all in all, when you're playing a pretty good team, I think you'll take that as a PK.
Grove, Kranz pushing it ahead, left side. Peter Wolf back in front. Kranz with a shot. Oh, the save by Spindler. I don't think he knew he had it for a moment. He kind of looked behind him to see where the puck was, and he had it with him after all. Peter Wolf, who had the earlier goal, this time sets up his line mates, and good shot by Grady Kranz and save made by Wyatt Spindler.
Boy, this was a great rush, considering they were all, bunched to that one side of the ice. There wasn't a lot different they could have done, but just a nice play to accelerate away and get his stick free there too by Kranz. And Spindler, as you said, he knew the puck was under him somewhere, but he wasn't exactly sure if he had it.
Blue line shot. Spindler makes the save on Miller's shot. Blue line, puck kept in, driving in. Kranz fires another one. Spindler the save.
Kranz has got some jump on this last shift or two. He's had a couple of nice opportunities there. And I think both teams are kind of looking for that spark. Again, not that they're playing poorly, and it's just kind of a back and forth, evenly contested, but you're looking for something to get yourself going, and Kranz got another pretty good attempt away there.
He's just a sophomore, Jake. And his first shot at varsity hockey this year. Grove getting the puck back into the Edina zone again. Kept in at the point, now on the boards. Not behind the net. Braid trying to feed it back to Johnson. Looking up, Braid got a stick on it, and then cleared by Edina out and fired in long by Anderson before it comes to Peckham of Edina.
Seems like Maple Grove's gotten a little spark from that penalty kill maybe. They've been playing well since then.
It's Gerald dump it in. Banked off the glass nicely by Scanson. Over skated by Braid, and Edina is able to shoot it back into the Maple Grove end. Hornets force a turnover, pass in front. Oh, and a big save by Scanson. Tried to gather the loose puck back in, didn't, but fortunately Maple Grove able to clear the zone.
Johnson didn't get much on that one at all. It looked like a nice setup. It turned into a little mini 2-on-1 there.
Out to center, here comes McConnell, drop pass. Across it comes, and that's broken up in front. Spurgeon's pass got blocked. Here's Anderson driving one wide of the net. Left point. Shot that didn't get all the way through off the stick of Glendy. Lucas Smith moves in. Oh, looking for a shot in front, or tipped and went just wide. Glendy was there. Smith tried to put it on his stick. Now back comes Edina. The other way, they score. Dene comes back and scores for Edina. Hornets back in front at 2-1.
Good rink-wide pass there, and Dene had a lot of momentum going toward the net, and he got a lot on this wrist shot and able to snap it by Skansen. See the pass that eludes Picanato. And there again, when you get that, it looks good, but if you miss it, you allow them an opportunity, and that's exactly what happened as Dene pops it in.
Bodie McConnell will get the assist on the Dene goal. That's 2-1 Edina. Well, coming at 10:30 of the second period. Spindler covers the puck on the shot from Peterwolf.
Yeah, he was trying to float that one to the front and hope for a tip in or deflection. And they got Spindler forced him to make a save there.
Able to get the puck out of their zone after that face-off and dumped right back in by Maple Grove after it goes Suter. Ahead comes Dan now into the Maple Grove zone. On the pass that goes past Peterwolf icing. Face off to the left of Skansen with 5:48 to go here in the second. And getting off the boards, get it up to center. Braid trying to bring it in. And gets it out. They come to 2-on-2. Forrest, and then Johnson fires wide as he got it in deep. Anderson keeping the puck in. That puck back behind Spindler.
Might have been a knuckler there. It kind of was floating toward him, but he couldn't glove it.
Forrest being checked by a couple of players. Puck is underneath him. That brings the whistle.
Look at that opportunity that developed there for Maple Grove. Good quick release. Sometimes those plays where it looks like the play is kind of breaking up, those can be sneaky. The goalie has to be ready and kind of keep his concentration even though he didn't get the original shot that he thought he was going to see.
Hornets in their own end. Up they come. McConnell flip it toward the net, looking for a tip in front. To get it back onto the stick of Richey. Now turn it around at the blue line. Here's McConnell. Pass ahead to Johnson. Drop pass to Ney from the circle. Skansen the save. And dump back behind the net. Play back out. Left point. Shot from there. And Skansen the glove save. On the shot from Miller Winkus.
I like that zone entry by Edina there too. They didn't just stay in a straight line. They did. You saw a little bit of creativity, a little bit of movement there to kind of free up some space.
Shot from the blue line, doesn't get all the way through. Maple Grove has it. Steenerson pass too far ahead. Hornets get it back at center. That gets blocked, deflected up to the corner on the shot from Brady Peterson. Payne, it's tied up along the boards. Maple Grove getting it back. To the corner. And then back behind the net. Hornets have it again. Suter. Up it comes to center. This puck, and Maple Grove has it. The blue line kept in by the Hornets. Payne puts it toward the net. Back behind the net, they go for the wraparound try. Peterson. That's denied. Kranz has it. Plays to the head. And off for Michter. And then at the Edina line, good play by the Hornets to keep it up. Kranz gets it back though. Kranz top of the circle. Step back out. Push it back behind the net for Braid. Trying to come out in front with the puck. Hornets clear to the blue line. Anderson will chop it back ahead. A little floater that Spindler's got a glove and hang on to.
Yeah, those are the kind that you don't especially want to have a face-off here for the goalie there, but he didn't want to take any chances on that puck. It was kind of a handcuffed him up really on the crest of that Hornet in Edina, wording across the front of his chest there.
Hornets have the face-off win. And that came off on behind Spindler, bringing another face-off here. This one is deflected. We'll do it again.
Braid got away a pretty decent look there after that face-off win, but Spindler had the glove ready.
Shots now even at 19 apiece. Spindler's got to make another play on the puck.
And Maple Grove's had some good stretches here in the second period. They do still trail at 2-1, but they've done some good things here as the period's gone on. It feels like the team's kind of got into the flow of things a little bit more here in this second period, but we still have had a lot of whistles.
Both teams will make changes here. Our fifth whistle in the last 11 seconds. Drop it one more time.
That one kind of looked like a missed drop there by the line. It was almost like he faked him out. I don't think he meant to drop it, and that's why they stopped.
Now comes out to center ice. Maple Grove gathers it back in, shooting it back into the Hornets end. 2.5 minutes to go here in the second period. 2-1 Edina. Breakdown pass to Ney, trying to hit Johnson. The pass to behind him. O'Connell also on this line. It's been a good line for the Hornets. Maple Grove gets it back. Lucas Smith will bring it up into the zone. Now set up at the point. Drives it towards the net. Spindler's going to be ready for that one. Richey back behind Baguette, trying to dump it in. And the wraparound try, couldn't do so. Back to the Maple Grove end. Smith off Richey's stick at the blue line. Back to the Edina end. Little Hornets in. The Maple Grove end with the Hornets in control with a minute 35 to go. Back out, left blue line. Yeah, Skanson's got to make the save on Becker Wenkus.
Looking for the tip out front there. McConnell couldn't get his stick on that one. Guessing both coaches kind of stressing a little bit. We need to get more bodies in front, make it harder for Skansen and Spindler to see the puck.
Anderson skates it all the way up the left side into the Edina zone. Gets back after it again. Ridden along the whole way and still kept control of the puck for a long time. Now back out. Anderson in the slot shot. That gets blocked. Looks like Dan got a piece of that. Franz trying to step through, and Peterson poked it away from him. Anderson getting it back. Now Peckham after it for Edina. Gives it away. Franz centers it out in front. Peterson has it. We have a whistle. We have here the net off again, perhaps. Yes. Face-off will come with 43 seconds to go down in the Edina zone. We'll hear from Coach Kurt Giles and more after the second intermission. Hornets trying to clear the zone, kept in briefly by Henry Miller, then back out. Anderson will shoot it back. It's icing on Maple Grove. 30 seconds to go. Hornets one more offensive zone possession here late in the period. Face-off win for the Hornets. Shot blocked. Oh, and then from in front went just wide. Keeping in was Winkus at the blue line. Now goes to the side of the net. Dene trying to chop at it, knock it in. Maple Grove gets it back with Roche. And a long shot in, and Spindler held it a little too long. Hit after the whistle. Look at Dene coming in. Oh, that went off of Steenerson too. Dangerous right in front of Skansen then. 5.3 to go here, so it'll be a quick win and a shot for Maple Grove if they're able to do it. And that'll be the end of the second period. Push afterwards. Nothing's going to come to this. Now we'll go to the locker room. So Edina gets the only goal of the period, and they take the lead into the second intermission. 2-1 Hornets lead the Crimson. For more Turkey Trot hockey on CCX after this.
For 90 years, Connection has been at the heart of everything they do at Topline Financial Credit Union. Their team is passionate about connecting with you to help you reach your financial dreams. For some, they're here for your first, like your first checking account, first car, or first home. For others, they're here for those next steps, whether it's remodeling your home, saving for retirement, or starting a small business. Become a Topline member and let them be a part of your big moments. Visit toplinecu.com because connected, we all do better. Federally insured with the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Welcome back here to Plymouth Ice Center. Edina leading Maple Grove here after 2 periods. Kurt Giles, the Hornets head coach, joins us, and I think for both teams kind of a slower start. It was an afternoon game after the evening games last night, but how did you feel overall about how your team's gotten into this one?
I think we've been sloppy in different areas and stuff like that, but that's expected at the beginning of the season, you know. A lot of new kids coming into the system, so it's something we got to work on and get straightened out.
Yeah, I think both teams have looked good at times, but then there have been some passes going off sticks and skates and everything. Do you want to stress simplifying things a little bit in terms of on the rush to be able to connect a little bit better?
Yeah, I agree. There's been some ugly hockey out here. There's no question about it. We've got to get it together, make cleaner passes, cleaner breakout passes. We've got to do a better job with that. But again, that's that growing process. You start at the beginning of the year, and sometimes it's not pretty. We all can't look like Moorhead the first day, so.
You guys came out very physical last night in Maple Grove, kind of the same in their game. There's been a little bit less of that. Is that by design to stay out of the box or not really?
I don't think there's any kind of design right now. We're just trying to figure out what we're doing and who's doing what. So, we're trying to get the kids to work hard, play their positions, do the right things, get the puck to the front of the net and get to the net.
We talked about it quite a bit yesterday with the prep bowl. It means it's a good problem to have, but you have some guys that'll be coming back from there. What's kind of the game plan in terms of working them in, whether it be on varsity or junior varsity or whatnot for the Hornets?
Yeah, first of all, we'd like to congratulate our football team for state championship. Is fantastic. But we got 6 kids that I think are trying out still that played football in the ball last night. So we got to work them into the system here in the next 2, 3, 4 days and make some decisions.
All right, Kurt, thanks for joining us, and good luck the rest of the way here.
Thank you.
All right, Kurt Giles, Edina's head coach, I would agree with his assessment. A little bit of sloppy hockey in this one, but his team leading Maple Grove by a score of 2-1. We will have more of our second intermission coming up in just a moment.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Edina 2, Maple Grove 1 after the second period of the first game on day 2 of the Turkey Trot Tournament from the Plymouth Ice Center. John Jacobson, Jay Wilcox with you on CCX, 1-1 after one period as we look at highlights from period 2 here at the Pick. Both teams definitely with scoring chances and a lot of traffic around their opponents' nets. Ryder Skansen and on the other end, Wyatt Spindler both kept busy in that second period, each with more shots faced than they did in the first. Able to keep track of the puck here. Maple Grove really jamming at it here, and finally the whistle blew. And again, Maple Grove able to fight off this chance, and the shot going wide off of Tucker Johnson's stick. Probably the best scoring chance here for Maple Grove in the period. Kranz with a shot and deep. A great save by Spindler, able to stop Grady Kranz there off the pass from Sam Biederwold. And then Edina gets the breakout pass here. McConnell able to get it across. And then Dene goes in and gets the shot and the goal. First of the season at 10:30 of the second period to put the Hornets back in front by a score of 2-1. Look at the numbers through 2 periods of play. Edina with the edge, just a slight one on shots on goal and in scoring chances. And just the one penalty so far on Maple Grove taken there in the second period. And Edina with some good zone possession, but no goal on their power play chance that they had in the second. We'll take another timeout. We'll come back. Third period on the way from the Plymouth Ice Center. The CCX Turkey Trot Tournament continues after this.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Elmar's New York Pizza in Plymouth, our proud sponsor here this weekend. Thanks to them for supplying us, our crew, with excellent pizza over these last 2 days. And note to self, as I mentioned in the first admission, order more for next year. It went fast, it's very good, and thanks to them. Order a slice, call ahead, order a pizza. Again, there's 2 blocks here from Plymouth Ice Center right off 37th Avenue. Ready for the third period here. I like Kurt Giles' comment. I laughed up here when he said, we can't all look like Moorhead on day one. That says a lot about how well the Spuds played last night. But again, right, opening weekend, you're going to have some sloppy play. And despite his team being ahead, not happy overall with how things have played out on the ice.
Yeah, and in a lot of ways, I think Maple Grove probably thinking the same. You know, you're just not getting a real good flow and maybe not always making right decisions on where to go with the puck either. I don't think it's been as sharp a game as probably what we saw on opening night, which, again, not terribly surprising and for multiple reasons. You know, you're just so jacked up about that first game. You kind of zeroed in on that first opponent. And then you turn around in the next afternoon and play again, and you know, the crowd is certainly more subdued and everything, and that does make a difference. There's no doubt about it. So, but that's where you try to find the energy to really play well.
Big shot, save made by Skansen. For these Edina kids, I'm sure, if not all of them, most of them, it probably all went down to that U.S. Bank Stadium game. That was a long game, and you're excited after that because your team won, so you're up. Sure, quite late tonight before you get up and you get ready to play a 2:30 game here. Underway in the third period. Crimson trailing the Hornets 2-1. Have control of the puck on their own zone. And for the long pass, knocked down nicely. Shea gets a shot away, and Spindler got a piece of it and directed up over the net behind it.
That's some hand-eye coordination there. That was not an easy thing to do, as he was able to corral that one and get a pretty good attempt away. I'll kind of get back, though, to I feel like Maple Grove is relying on that a little bit too much, trying to, again, spread Edina out and you know, beat them deep, if you will, but too many times where it hasn't worked.
Maple Grove had to regroup in their own end after winning that face-off, and then they come in offside on this rush.
That one kind of hurts because that had the makings of a good rush, and it was really an unforced offside too.
Crimson face-off win. Anderson to head of the zone off of Braid's stick. Peckham played it to the boards. Braid gets it back. Center get out in front. Peterson gets there for Edina. And then picked out by Bots. Up to center ice. Payne at the first goal tonight, had a goal last night as well. Still down in the Maple Grove zone, check in the corner. Pushed up the boards, and then Maple Grove with it. Here comes Braid trying to squeeze past a couple of players and can't. We're going to get a slashing penalty on Edina here, our first penalty of the night of the Hornets.
They had done a pretty good job of squeezing him there. That one was unnecessary, I think. They had defended it pretty well, but they're going to get Zach Spurgeon. And you see as he kind of tries to split between two, and there's Spurgeon, the winger coming from the top, who got that chop in and got it around his arm and waist a little bit.
So the sophomore takes the penalty of Maple Grove, their first man advantage of the night here, looking for the equalizer early in the third period. Dumped into the zone by Anderson. Around the boards it comes, and Cleared back toward the corner, trying to get it to Kuznick. Kuznick being tied up by Becker Wenkus. Comes back free. Shot away as Spindler makes the save. Puck still loose, and then he gathers it back in. Tommy Picconato with a shot from the blue line. Spindler stopped it and then scrambled to cover up on the loose puck.
Boy, and his defensemen did a nice job of each taking one forward away here so Spindler could get to this one right there. They kind of create a little pile up, and it allowed Wyatt Spindler to scramble forward and get on top of that puck after the original shot handcuffed him.
Fired in by Anderson with 1:10 left in the power play. Peckham got it and dumps it down into the Maple Grove zone. Anderson overskates it there, and getting to it was Ben Varecka. Crimson give it back. Picconato dropping it back for Anderson. Breaks it out with the pass up to Kuznick. Across the blue line. Kuznick, drop pass. Anderson across. Picconato trying to slide it down to the circle. Got caught up there on the skates of Glendy. Picconato back to Glendy. Lost it, and then Peckham fires it down the ice. Big penalty kill so far for the Hornets. Down to 30 seconds left in the man advantage for Maple Grove. Chopped it up the center and then pushed back in by Fitzgerald.
That last sequence in the offensive zone kind of told the tale of how the game's been for Maple Grove. A couple nice passes in a row, but then puck fluttered away and allowed it to be cleared by the Hornets.
Steenerson comes in with the puck. Kept in by Anderson. Up to the corner, Steenerson, back out, Anderson, slides it across. Picconato. And trying to slide it back to Anderson there was Lichter. Going outside the zone. Edina now back at full strength. Lichter brings it into the Edina zone. Johnson took a check for Maple Grove, and that allows Edina to have the puck. McConnell looked away from him. Johnson gets it back, flips it toward the Edina line. Nice step around move there by Becker Wenkus. Went to the front of the net where he got tied up by Lucas Smith. Jammed out of there by Edina to the left boards. Maple Grove getting it back, flips it ahead. Be knocked down there by Suter at his blue line. Slides the pass across to Wenkus. The Crimson zone. McConnell helping it back, trying to get to Dene. Dene does get a stick on it. Comes loose in front. Suter can't get to it in time to get a shot away. And cleared by Maple Grove ahead. Here's a chance. A 2-on-1 for the Crimson. A shot and a goal! The second of the night for Sam Biederwolf, and it's 2-2.
Defenseman got caught up ice there, and that one quickly turned into a 2-on-1. And sometimes guys feel the pressure to pass in that situation, but there was no doubt that the shot was there. The defenseman was playing for the pass, and Biederwolf was only too happy to make it happen.
Lucas Smith with a great pass. Biederwolf, just about the same spot. He beat Spindler with a goal in the first period, scores here. We're tied at 2.
You just never know what's going to happen after really doing virtually nothing on the power play. Then after it expires, they get that great 2-on-1 rush.
Smith with the single assist and the goal at 5:05 of the third. Forrest won the face-off, turning and dumping it back behind the net was Campbell, and Forrest back after it. Now Peterson will bring it out for Edina. Ray Peterson skating hard after it behind the Crimson net. Campbell got there. Lost in front. Peterson passed just a little bit behind his teammate Dan there, and able to get it back was Maple Grove to get it to center. Shot by Campbell back behind the net. Comes back left blue line to the right side. Campbell. That gets blocked by Peterson. Campbell gets it again, then he gets spun around. Cleared back ahead. Now a chance possibly for the Hornets. Drop pass to Peterson from Payne. Broken up nicely by Maple Grove. Picanato and Johnson were both there. Maple Grove clearing it ahead. Peckham has it for Edina. Flies in on the right side. Peckham with a shot. High glove save by Skansen.
Good hustle on that last to help break that last one up by Matthew Johnson of Maple Grove. He really skated back hard to make sure that that didn't turn into a grade A chance.
Shot from out high, gets blocked. Maple Grove getting it. Trying to slide through, but getting knocked down there was Lichter. Hornets get it back at center ice. Good pass break, good defensive break up there by Anderson to break up that pass by the Hornets. Back at center. Comes Edina with Miller coming in. Miller put it out in front. They score! David Varecka got it. Pushing it past Skansen. Edina back in front. It's 3-2.
Well, there's one that looked like it was going to be a relatively harmless play, but they're able to get to that puck and then push the pass out front for Varecka to basically just deflect that one by Skansen. They look right here. Good job. You know, the shot initially blocked, but then they stay with it, and Steenerson couldn't tie him up. Varecka kept his stick down on the ice, and yeah, he didn't really get it too well, but he got enough of it to kind of pop it up over Skansen's glove. He didn't hit it the way he wanted to, but it worked out better in some ways for him that way as it chipped over the top of the goalie.
Here's to Fitzgerald. I thought it was Blake Miller on that pass as Edina comes in again, and Skansen's got to sprawl out to make that save.
Ooh, save of the game right there for Ryder Skansen to keep it a one-goal game.
Come the Hornets again. Dene. Johnson with a shot. Skansen makes the save on that, deflects it out of play.
Well, after a game where we haven't really had all that many chances, all of a sudden we're stacking them up one after the other. Good return pass and then across, and Skansen was ready for that.
Right there on McConnell. And then Johnson on that one. Skansen got a piece of it. So two good chances after the goal by David Varecka, his first of the season. Maple Grove on high. Picanato a shot. And Spindler got a piece of that. Anderson keeps the puck in the zone. From the circle, Johnson fired it wide. Here's a shot from the circle. That missed on Forrest's try. Comes back to Picanato's stick. Trying to bring it in on the left side. Is this a 2-on-0 for Maple Grove? They score! Oh, how does that happen? Braid puts it away, and it's 3-3.
Couple Edina guys ran into each other in the neutral zone. They were in a little bit of a pile up out here near center, but I think they were already caught out of position as a unit even before that happened. And all of a sudden, all they could hope was maybe this offside or something. Two guys took the same puck carrier, and that led to two guys being all alone.
Cale Braid with the goal. Assists will go to Matthew Johnson and Tommy Picanato. First of the season, 7th career goal for Cale Braid. Ties it up at 3 at 9-12. Three games. They skate into the last half of the final period. More game here to come on this Saturday. Oh, what a big check laid out there by Henry Miller.
Fair to say the intensity's picked up in this one, both in terms of chances and also hits. Wow. Miller ran him over.
Hornets get the puck back to center ice. And it sliced through about 3 players there was Johnson. Getting loose out in front. Maple Grove gets it back. Here they come. Roche trying to get it through, but no one there to receive it. Well defended by Edina, covering up on the forward. Here come the Hornets back out to center. Suter into the zone. Wants to fly a shot. It's deflected up out of play.
Watch this one. Ooh, Miller lights him up.
Yeah, Miller really laid out the Miller on Miller there. Henry Miller on Blake Miller.
And I was thinking initially I wouldn't have been surprised to see a call, either a charge or possibly that it was late in interference. But I looking at it again, I could go with that no call there.
Peterson and Forrest on this face-off. Shot away. Ooh, Skansen just got that one. 27th shot of the afternoon for Edina. The 24 for Maple Grove. Hornets have the zone shot in. Skansen the save. Puck still loose though. Back behind the net. Smith able to feed it up to Braid on the wing. Braid, the goal scorers a couple of minutes ago with the puck, trying to get it to Forrest's stick. Didn't quite connect on that. And then Braid gets brought down. Maple Grove looking for a penalty. Won't get one. Shot away and tight. Doesn't get through to Skansen. Maple Grove with it back. Anderson gains the zone to Picanato to the corner. Gets ridden to the boards by Becker Winkus. Kranz had the puck. We're going to bring a whistle. Face off outside the blue line. With 6:19 to go in the third. Sam Biederwolf, number 16, 2 goals today. His grandmother came up to me after the first period and said, "Thanks for saying my grandson's name correctly on TV." Oh, you're welcome. He must have had it said wrong all his life or something.
Well, we have to.
We have pronunciation
along,
guys.
yeah,
we're not that
Bergman.
smart necessarily, right?
Right.
The coaches help us out. Kranz from center ice. Biederwolf had it caught up in his skates. And pushing in out to center ice. And then shot back in by Miller.
Just feels like these teams found an extra gear here in the third period. It's been a much more exciting period than the first two were.
Just inside the Maple Grove line. Crimson able to clear it back ahead. Hand pass on Maple Grove. Maple Grove face-off win comes on in front. A shot. Oh, that got stopped by Spindler as Kuznick was down deep. Maple Grove from center will shoot it back into the Edina zone. Suter across. Winkus got it ahead. Connell touched it into the Maple Grove end. Around the boards trying to shovel it out, and doing so was Kuznick. ahead. Osseo will go after for Maple Grove. Pass in front. That gets blocked, kicked along the boards, and now Edina getting it back. Johnson, drop pass. Dene trying to get it to McConnell across, and sliding back into the play was Kuznick. Suter slides the pass off. Top of the left circle. It's fired wide off the stick of Wenkus. Icing, it'll be whistled here against Maple Grove.
Kuznick might have saved a goal there. Great effort diving back in to get a piece of that one and break it up. As you see the deflection that comes out front, and then it just pops over the net. Now, Kuznick's shot.
From center ice, dumped in by Bots of Edina. Under 4 minutes to go in the hockey game, just over 4 minutes. Plays it on Moorhead to foul. And about 40 minutes or a little less here at the Plymouth Ice Center. Well, let's get it back out to center. Pushing it ahead on that left side was Peterson. Maple Grove turns it away. Anderson. Anderson from the circle. Save made. Rebound try. Forrest drove that one wide of the net. Kept in by Braid. Cleared up the boards. Edina will get it out to center. Right wing pass and a shot in on net. Skansen makes the save on Dan.
Could be kind of down to that next goal wins time frame here with about 3.5 to go, and the teams are playing like it.
Popped up high on Skansen. Makes the stop. Keeping the puck down in the Edina zone, in the Maple Grove zone here. Just over 3 minutes to go in the third. Cleared up the boards, kept in by Suter. Turns around to the other boards, and it's banked out by Maple Grove. And it is go far enough for icing.
A few groans from the Maple Grove fans. That puck was dying there, and I thought they might wave it off. That's where, as a defenseman, you try and make it look like you're really skating your hardest back to it, even though he wasn't.
Smith. Anderson with the puck, getting it out. Out of center ice. Here comes Picanato. Right side into the slot. Shot away. Fired to the wide of the net. Gets it back on his stick. Tied up there by Wenkus. On the boards. Grove keeping it in. Back into Picanato. There's Roche with it. His shot away. Save made. Loose. Anderson backhand try. That one just went wide. Edina able to clear now. Possible 2-on-1 the other way. McConnell. And then he gets taken out of the play. Legally. A nice defensive stop there by Picanato. And then Skansen with a cover up on the puck.
McConnell just had trouble controlling that one as it was bouncing away on him. As you get a look at that chance at the other end. Spindler the save, and then the rebound loose. They tried to sweep it out, and then a little kind of almost a change-up backhander there by Anderson rolled wide.
Under 2 minutes to go now in the third. Maple Grove gains the Edina zone. Passed a little bit behind Forrest from Braid. Braid gets it back. Feeds it back out. Smith Shot off the glass behind the net. Johnson getting it, then he lost it to Botts. Edina will move it ahead. Too far for Dan. Deep into the Maple Grove end where Steenerson has it. Cleared up ahead to Braid. Fell down and Peckham takes it. Botts ahead to center. Peterson and Edina's offside. 1:12 to go in the third.
See, they're really trying to create a good rush there, but Payne just wasn't able to hold up enough.
Face-off win for the Crimson. Briefly had a rush, turned back away by Edina, but they are able to dump it in as Kuznick got into the Hornet zone with a minute to go. Grove plays it ahead of neutral zone. No, not quite. Edina able to hold the zone. Johnson got it in on net on Skansen. Johnson off to Dene. Shot from a tough angle and Skansen the save.
Never a bad idea to put one on net at this point in the game. Right. You never know what can happen.
Clean face-off win though for the Hornets. A shot driven wide of the net by Becker Wenkes. 35 seconds ago. Comes back out. Shooter Wenkes will be and fired again. And Skansen the save. '29th save of the day for the senior goalie Ryder Skansen. Crimson get the face-off. O'Shea dumps it out to center, back to the Edina line. Wendy trying to get a piece of it. Now it comes back to Roche. 15 seconds ago, shot away. Spindler's got to come up with a big stop on that one. Late scoring chance for Maple Grove. Now here comes Edina back in. Wenkes had a flight off his 6. Centering pass. That gets broken up. Maple Grove off to let one fly. And Spindler making the save on Roche as the game comes to an end.
Well, fair to say that they kind of saved their best for the last period, I would say, right? I mean, there was, I felt like a more entertaining period and more chances created, guys getting after it a little bit in that third. So we'll get set for OT here at 3-3.
So the game is over. Regulation is over. We'll have an overtime coming here at the Plymouth Ice Center. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll reset. Come back. Start of overtime. Next, 3-3, Crimson and the Hornets on CCX.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there, choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Dear Moms and Dads,
Moorhead Spuds getting ready to take the ice for their game coming up here against Wayzata as we start overtime in our first Saturday game. Edina and Maple Grove all tied up at 3. 8-minute overtime. After that, then the game will be over in a shootout today during regulation. Shot away! Oh, only chance for Maple Grove that just went wide. Maple Grove getting a chance. Lane Glendy.
After that puck went out of play, I looked over at their bench and they were all like on their edge of celebrating here as he got a good attempt, but just high.
Edina gets the puck out to center. Players going down there for Edina. Get back up and then cleared back in to the zone by Dan. Picanato takes a check from Dan then. Picanato able to get the pass off to Braid. Break wide pass and shot ahead into the zone by Anderson. Lots back behind his net. On the boards to Peterson. Loose puck in the circle. And clear to the blue line, and then Smith keeps it in. Shot it out of play.
Crimson fans wanted a penalty there, but it's going to have to be something that's pretty obvious, I think, to be called right now. See, right here is kind of get the hook into midsection of Forest. Could have been called. I don't think you could say that it wasn't anything at all there, but I'm again not terribly surprised in OT that they didn't call it either.
We'll play again. Face-off come back in the Edina zone. Hockey game, 6:35 to go in overtime. Edina gains the Maple Grove zone. Crimson quickly turned back. As Kuznick carries deep, fired the shot wide to the Hornets net. It came towards center, shot back in by the Crimson. Suter back forward for Edina. Pass up the middle of the ice. Shot back in by Maple Grove by Smith. Randall's trying to keep it in. Gets a check along the boards. Freed up, but Edina has it. Now it comes to McConnell. Sweeps it ahead. Johnson takes a check, or Dene rather, took a check there from Steenerson and lost possession. Jeremy Steenerson back ahead. Out to center. He'll push it in left side. Lost the puck. And the Hornets get it back at their blue line. Reset. Winkus trying to work his way through traffic. Eventually went down in the slot. Cleared, but out of play. .5:20 to go in OT.
That last rush by Winkus had the kind of feel of one where he comes back to the bench. He's probably hearing that might work in Bantams, but this is varsity hockey. There were 4 guys you were trying to get through right there.
Forced in pain on the face-off one by Forrest. Anderson. Johnson had a stick on him. Lost it briefly, but no scoring chance there for Edina. Maple Grove got it out of the zone. Anderson back with it for the Crimson. And swept by Bray down into the Hornets' end. Fox trying to get it across for Peckham and does. Middle of the ice. Here comes Payne. Dangerous with the puck. Slides it across. Peterson got a stick on it. Skansen poked it back out. Anderson tying up Payne with it. Braid moves in. Peckham will keep it in for the Hornets. Dump it back behind the net. Anderson back with it. Peckham blue line. Over wide of the net. Forrest getting checked by Peterson. Taken by Anderson. And feed it off for Miller. Johnson couldn't get it through. And finally cleared by Matthew Johnson of Maple Grove down and got it on net. Able to make the change and not get an icing there. Comes Suter back for Edina, the freshman, putting one in deep on net that Scanson's got to make the save on. Centering pass out in front for Suter. Drives it back to the blue line. Wenkus with it. Nice stop by Johnson with the skate to keep it on his stick, then lost it and then cleared ahead by Anderson. Maple Grove with a chance. Anderson comes in deep, he scores! Cole Anderson, the game winner in overtime. 4-3, Crimson. Edina had possession of the puck at the other end, and then a nice defensive play, and Anderson is a good two-way player for them. Puts the puck in the net and scores here and ends it. Anderson is first goal of the season, second career varsity goal, wins it for Maple Grove. Look at the play again. Great setup too on the pass there from Lane Glendy. And Anderson ends it at 4:26 of overtime. Well, as Jay mentioned, that was an entertaining third period, especially the intensity picked up on the overtime, and Maple Grove ends up with the victory here, 4-3. Got a win last night, 4-2, and 4-3 here today. We'll take a quick break. Jay's going to talk with one of the winning Crimson players in a moment, and then we'll reset for Game 2. More hockey coming your way on CCX.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Welcome back. Nice win for Maple Grove as they get it in overtime over Edina, 4-3. Cole Anderson gets the game winner. This one turned into a pretty exciting game. First couple periods were kind of back and forth, nobody really dominating, but how much fun was it to come out with the win and get the game winner yourself?
It's always fun to come compete with your team. I mean, we're working at practice every week. It's good to win. It's good to win against a good team like that.
Tell me about that game winner. What did you see as that one developed?
I saw Lane coming up the middle. I tried to slip it to him. It got there. I came in. I got it back, and I just went low blocker. It's kind of my shot.
You guys got a nice win the first night. Come back, beat Edina. I mean, overall, pretty good start to the season, right?
Yeah, it's fun. 2 good wins to start the season off. It was good.
All right, congrats on the game winner here. And Sam Beater-Wolf will call you over. A couple big goals for you here tonight. How nice was it to get on the board like that?
I mean, it just feels great when you can put one in the net and really just get the boys going. It feels awesome.
You were able to go up high and put the shot under the crossbar. Is it something you've been working on, putting the puck in that kind of spot to beat these goalies?
I mean, yeah, we got some great goalies at practice, and scoring at practice is hard, so you got to get creative sometimes, and I just let my brain take over.
How nice is it to get wins over Wayzata and Edina here in the opening weekend?
It's great. We're going to see them 3 times this year now that we're in the lake, so it's great to send a message early.
All right, good luck the rest of the season, and a nice job here this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, couple of the Crimson that got it done as they win it 4-3 in overtime over Edina. Let's go back to John Jacobson for some final thoughts.
All right. Thank you very much, Jay. The teams you can see have taken the ice for Game 2. We'll have Moorhead and Wayzata coming up for you in just a bit here on this Saturday at CCX. Thanks to all of our great crew working Game 1. We'll continue on through Game 2. And for all of them and for Jay, I'm John Jacobson. Final score in our first game, Day 2 of the Turkey Trot in overtime. Maple Grove Crimson win it over the Edina Hornets 4-3. So long from the Plymouth Ice Center.